I don't know about Kitty Pryde and Wolverine.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Was that?
Well, Wolverine, you know.
Guys, Shaun.
Kitty Pryde,
Mark,
something else.
John.
What?
It's me, your pal Adam.
Oh, hi.
Lazara?
Yeah. And together we make the rock and roll band Taking Back Sunday, and we have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Well, it's our buddy, our best man, our most bestest man, Neil Rubenstein. He needs an introduction.
Let's do it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our most bestest man, Neil Rubenstein.
None of that's getting used, so don't worry. None of that's getting used, so you can relax. Everyone can relax. So yeah, I'm from New York originally. I just moved to Oklahoma on purpose. I like a small town, you know? Where I live now, our police department has hours of operation. I think that's a pretty good start, you know? We're getting there. The political lawn signs in my town, they just read, "Vote for John." For government. The whole thing, just John. Just government John, that's what we call him back home. So, smear campaign is, well, you remember what Matt did last Christmas, right? We can't. That guy can't come back. That guy sucked. That was bad. I like it there. I like Oklahoma. They do a weird thing, man. They love their guns, man. Like, we love our guns in Oklahoma. It's like, we love our guns in New York too, man. We're not so hot on serial numbers. Just buy them out of a trunk, like a normal person. Like, why are you talking about it so much? Like, I was raised to shoot the dude and shut my mouth. I don't... It reminds me of like those outlaw biker gangs where they all have their name tag on their chest. It's like, could you describe the assailant? Yeah, it was Jimbo. And I guess he's the treasurer? The neighborhood I moved to, it's this old historic district where everything's haunted. And I asked my landlord too, I was like, yo man, there's ghosts, right? And he's like, I don't know man, I've never seen one. I've been here since 1804. So. I moved back in last June, because me and my ex-wife, we split up in June. And it was like really hard to date at first, you know, because like all the straight girls were gay for Pride Month. They're like, the A stands for all of us. Pretty sure it stands for astrology, but I don't want to mansplain to anybody. I'm a huge fan of the pronouns. I love the pronouns. I think we should be called whatever it is we want to be called. I truly believe that. I wish we got started sooner. You know, I wish growing up I could have picked what people called me. Wouldn't have been fat fuck. I'll tell you that. Would have been something more masculine, you know? Like he or him, you know? One of those. If we're up to me, is all I'm saying, you know? My decision. You know? Plus, you know, I'm as gay as the next guy, you know? Unless the next guy's gay, and then significantly less gay than that guy, but I give off a thing. You know? You feel it. Because people see me, they're like, this guy ain't afraid of nothing. And then they hear me. They're like, he's afraid of the dark. That's what I knew. I was told I sound like the person I look like I kidnapped. Also, the other day, someone was like, you look like a fat Joaquin Phoenix. And I was like, you could have said Joaquin Phoenix. That would have done, you know? We all know the difference. Between this regular-sized Joaquin Phoenix. And whenever anyone compares you to celebrity, it's always negative, right? So it's like, oh, you look like that guy if you were fat, or that guy if they dragged him out of a lake. Just once I went, oh, you look like Joaquin Phoenix if his brother lived. I don't care what you think about that joke. That's a great joke. I like being a big guy, you know, always safe, you know? Like I remember one time I was walking in Brooklyn, and this is before Brooklyn was a yoga studio, so. You know, streets still riddled with crime and gluten. And this dude popped out to mug me, and I was like, nah, man, get the next guy. And he was like, okay, thank you, and just scurried away. This is awesome. Everyone should try this. I do make fat guy mistakes though. Like I recently wandered into a dance studio by accident because it was called Salsa Sensation. That is not my fault. You named a food and a dance the same thing? That's disrespectful to fat people. That's not. Can't do that. That's a real. Try a little bit. I try to get a gym membership, but like there's like all these like levels, you know. It's like the guy was like, well, you're just gonna come to this one location, right? And I'm like, yeah, not even. So, do you have like a t-shirt keyring package I can purchase and just tell people? I will say it used to be easier being a big guy, you know? Like back before everyone learned how to UFC fight. You know, because like back in the day, you see a dude bigger than me, chill. Smaller than me, I'll take a shot, you know? But now you see a dude who's like 5'3", 98 pounds, you gotta check his ears. Like if they look like they've been filled with rocks, you're like, dude, take what you want. Just don't hurt me, please. My buddy got MMA lessons for his 40th birthday. So he's just getting beat up by children once a week. It's just 17-year-olds destroying him. And I said something to his wife. I was like, yo, we have to like intervene. We have to stop this. And she's like, no, he's just going through a midlife crisis. I'm like, it's an end of his life crisis. They're gonna murder him. Like, there's no... And I'm a big fan of the sport. I love MMA. I think it's fun to watch. But like, we're in it long enough now. We can admit this was clearly invented by a dude trying to cuddle his boyfriend. Like that's right. Like every move is rear naked mount. You're like, dude, just come out. Like we're much more accepting these days. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just picture some of those early interactions. They're wrestling around. The one dude's like, yo, you trying to get me to submit? Like, no, I'm trying to get a hold of me, Todd. Like, why is everything always a fight with you? It's like, what kind of martial arts is this? Like, I don't know, it's mixed. When I wrote that joke, I was worried. I asked Abby, I was like, am I doing gay voice? And she's like, you're doing your voice. I will say the worst place to be a fat guy is the airplane. You guys are pricks, you know? I don't know. I just feel like King Kong, like trying to get through the aisle. Just like, I flew Southwest. I had a lady, you know, you pick your seats, you know. I had a lady look me dead in the eye and then put a stranger's baby in the open seat next to her. I'm like, that's better? That can't be better. Like, I get it, the seats are tight. Like, you're in so tight, you can't change positions. I'm in so tight, I can't change expressions. I'm just stone-faced through the end of Marley and Me like a lunatic, like... Dude behind me is like, bro, the dog died. I'm like, I know, I'm devastated. But if I sob, the seatbelt will snap. And the bathroom on an airplane? Fuck everyone here, honestly. Yo. You know how humiliating it is to have to stand on the toilet bowl to get the door closed behind you? Automatic hand dry going off the whole time? The whole time! I'm just soaked in sweat, pee everywhere from the wind. Toilet tissue turning into paper mache. I gotta explain to the lady after me, like, it's not my fault. They don't build these with me in mind. I flew during the pandemic. It was amazing. It was so cool. Like, you could park on the tarmac. It was so awesome. I remember I was at the airport. It was like 1 in the afternoon. It was just me and a guy mopping. I'm like, do I just get on the plane? He's like, yeah, get on the plane. I'll be there in a second. I went to Denver over pandemic for some shows, and a lot of places made weed legal, but Denver made it mandatory. They're just handing it out at the airport. I'm like, oh, thank you, officer. Sorry about the defunding stuff earlier. But I never tried drugs before. And so when I got to Denver, I was like, well, when in Rome, you know? So I tried some edibles. I ate one, and nothing happened. And that's the end of the story. That's it, because I'm not falling for it, you know? I've heard all the stories, and I'm not falling for it. I'm not gonna do too many and then wake up naked in a dumpster, you know, like covered in Doritos, hosting a podcast. Nothing happened. I was like, well, maybe I'll go get something to eat. Maybe that'll like change my body chemistry. I don't know. But I didn't want to drive because I heard all those stories, you know, like get behind the wheel. Next thing I know, there's a knock on the window. I'm like, sorry, officer, how fast was I going? He's like, you weren't. You just passed out in the drive-through lane. So I'm like, sick, number 4, no tomatoes. He's like, drive-through lane at the bank, sir. You're at the bank. So I walked to Taco Bell, and standing in line, and nothing happened. I was like, how am I impervious to weed, you know? Wait my whole life to try drugs, and I'm impervious to weed? Like, who's impervious? That's a weird word. Oh, I'm high. Oh, this is great. And then I panic. I'm like, oh man, can they tell? Can everyone tell I'm high? The lady at Taco Bell was like, yeah, we can tell. She's like, but this is Taco Bell in Denver, bro. We're all high. I bug out, I freaked out, I raced back to the hotel. Got back to the hotel, I called my ex-wife, and I was like, babe, I'm bugging out, man. She's like, yeah, I know, I could tell. I'm like, what? She's like, you just ditched me at Taco Bell. I was a big fan of the pandemic. I loved it. Bought all the merch, you know? The foam finger. I was like, stay home. I was like, unless you're poor, and then bring us wine. I don't know, I just feel like our whole lives we've been threatened with the end of the world, you know? Like, nuclear war, Y2K switch, global warming, that was a big one. And then it snowed in April. And everyone's like, well, it's climate change, it's still pretty bad. I'm like, well, is it gonna kill everyone? Because if not, I have stuff to do tonight. And I don't really wanna do it. And then the pandemic came, and I was like, finally, the apocalypse has been promised, you know? Jesus, clear it out. And it was crazy at first, like, riots in the streets, continents were on fire. And then they switched writers halfway through. They're like, this is testing pretty poorly in the Midwest. We're trying to get renewed for a second season. I learned a new trick during the pandemic. Any delivery guy that came down the block, I would flag him over like it was for me. Like, 19 Green Street? Like, yep. Your door says 31. Oh, it's broken. Just... At one point, I just hung a dry erase board. Like, what number are you looking? 19? And I love that it's animals that keep trying to take us out, you know? Like birds gave us bird flu, and then pigs gave us swine flu, and the monkeys gave us AIDS. That was close. They almost had us, and then we're like, not this time, monkeys. I'm like, we'll be back. I'm like, all right, bats, get in there. And the bats were like, we're not having sex with anybody. So, like, no, you just got to go to a wet market in Wuhan. That sounds like sex stuff, and we're not into it at all. It's retribution for the turtles. Yeah. Stop giving the turtles straws; they couldn't do blow. I'd be pissed too, you know? No more plastic straws. Plastic cups, plastic lids, throw those in the ocean as much as you want. That's no problem. I thought we should just make turtle shell straws. Like, what are we doing with all those dead turtles? Just stacking them in a landfill somewhere? Put them to use, you know? What's that old saying? When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, and then you drink it with a turtle shell straw. I think that's the saying. Pretty sure that's the saying. I broke my leg over pandemic, and they prescribed OxyContin, and I didn't want to take it because, like I said, like I never really did drugs, so I was like, I don't know, man. And this guy we know was like, dude, same thing happened to me, man. I went through the same exact thing. He was like, when I was in Afghanistan, I was saving a family from a burning building, and an IED went off, and shrapnel got caught in my skull, and I too refused the meds. I was like, that's a different fucking thing, man. You're a hero. I slipped and fell at McDonald's. He's like, well, I'm sure you've saved a life or two. What? Some of you guys know me, but like, is that the vibe I give off? I'm just saving lives willy-nilly? Is that? Look, if you count when we were younger and me and my friends were beating a guy to death, and I was like, yo, chill, the cops. I'm a bit of a hero, I guess. So I tried the Oxy. And it's great. I get it. I totally understand the heroin epidemic. It's phenomenal. Everyone should try it. It's really great. But I don't understand drug culture, you know, because I've never done drugs. So like I remember one time we were, after a show, some buddies of mine were like, yo man, we're gonna go back to Steve's and smoke a bowl if you wanna come. And I was like, yes, sick. Like, anybody got any Oxy? And they're like, dude, you don't ask like that. But I need to ask like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna, listen, as it stands now, I'm probably gonna die in my sleep. Like I do every night from the apnea. Just missing a foot from diabetes, you know, just a good old-fashioned American death. You know, the normal kind, you know? Cause of death, too many Snickers, you know, just a regular. But if I like do Oxy alone in a hotel room, like, it's gonna be a cautionary tale, you know? There's gonna be like the news van's gonna be there, surrounded by cops. I'm waving my fake foot at them. They think it's a weapon. You know how that ends. I guess this is more a cry for help than anything. Or for Oxy, like if you have any, please. I'll be here for a little while. My buddy's kid got arrested for selling Oxy at the Wendy's by us. And I was like, oh man, it's terrible. Which son? Was that John Jr.? Is the Wendy's over here? This one? Does he have like a street name? I should know. I want to seem cool when I got the vaccine, even though I'm lying about it. I'm kidding, it's none of your business. I think that's like a fun thing, like, I feel like no one really can tell by looking at me what side of anything I fall on. You know? Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like conservatives look at me and they're like, some red flags, man. But then like liberals look at me and they're like, it's gotta be a Confederate flag, right? That's... I remember there was like a Black Lives Matter rally by my apartment, and across the street there were like all these Blue Lives guys. And when I walked by, both sides were like, get the fuck out of here, man! I was like, nobody wants me, it feels terrible. I don't know who to trust, you know? Like, you can't trust textbooks, right? Because they lied about why we went to Vietnam, and they were wrong about Pluto 3 times. It feels like too many times. It's like, certainly too many times to then be smug about whether or not I could take horse dewormer. Can't trust the news, right? Like, I'm not a fake news guy, but they either got to do something about it or stop calling it news, right? Because, like, both sides, just all agenda, you know? Like, I remember January 6th, everywhere you looked, it was like insurrection, insurrection, insurrection. And then you turn on Fox News, and they're like, Kamala Harris wears white after Labor Day. She even fit to lead? Like, do you not see the thing at the thing? Can I get a different opinion? But then the other side does it too. Like, Biden will carpet bomb Yemen. And then you turn on CNN and they're like, Google unveils the new cheeseburger emoji. And you're like, yeah, it's troublesome the cheese is on the bottom, but... He carpet bombed Yemen, destroyed the Yemen zoo, which is sad, but not as sad as the Yemen zoo. So every display is just camels, but like made to look like other animals. The employees are like, how are we supposed to make this look like a meerkat? Bury it? We gotta come up with something quick before they chop off our hand. I don't like any politician. I hate all the politicians. There's like 3 that I'm like, all right, that guy's cool. That one's in a punk band. She has an OnlyFans. But I will say, like, Trump supporters really suck the fun out of hating Joe Biden, you know? Because I'll be like, fuck Joe Biden. And they'll be like, yeah, fuck Joe Biden. I'll be like, nah, not like that, though. It just feels so gross when you say it. I feel like capitalism is destroying America. I know I'm going to lose some of you on this one, but... we're going for it. I don't know, man. My grandfather was a milkman. One job. 5 kids, one job. Now, if you have 1 kid, you need 5 jobs. It's not. He was a milkman. There was only one kind of milk back then. That's a job a monkey can do. And not like a smart, send them to space monkey. A dumb, can't get the peg in a hole monkey can deliver 1 kind of milk. I don't know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, if we all went to On the Border after this, right? If. When we all go to On the Border after this. If they were like, only the high tops get free chips. None of the low tables, just the high tops. We wouldn't be like, all right, well, we're gonna lift these tables up by their bootstraps and get those chips. No. We would leave. We would go somewhere else where they gave everyone free chips, like Denmark. I feel like people who love capitalism, their favorite part of capitalism is the socialist programs, right? Like roads, sanitation. It's called Social Security, you know? Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. Like, we can at least all agree that, like, GoFundMe shouldn't be the national healthcare system. Right? That's like, that feels like an easy one. It should be reserved for comedy specials. I don't know. My plan's so bad, my dentist makes me hold the x-ray machine. She's like, take it like a selfie. Like this? This doesn't feel safe. She's hiding in the next room like, no, you're fine. Just don't hit the red. Oh, you hit it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And then she turns the screen around for me to tip her. I'm like, we didn't have kids, my ex and I. I don't want kids. I'm never having kids. I don't know, man. I just hear your stories about how great your kids are. And then I meet your kids. Stories never match up. This is your superstar? Covered in mud, climbing on the furniture? This is your future Nobel Prize winner. This tugging on his pecker in front of no chance he just works at a bowling alley. This is... All right. And people are like, oh, you'll never know the joy of having a child. You'll never know the joy of walking away from a car with confidence. I don't want kids to the point where, like, I keep my cell phone in my front pocket at all times just to dry out the whole thing. And it worked, for sure. My thigh's been numb for years. I wanted to go to the doctor to check it out, but my doctor back home, Dr. Kusamana, he's in a wheelchair. I felt like pretty insensitive. Like, hey, doc, my thigh's numb. He's like, yeah, mine too, you're fine. Just... I'm like, but there's a pain when I walk. He's like, could you describe it? Not the pain, walking. What's walking like, you fat piece of He's like, does it hurt when you frolic? Get the fuck out of my office! Plus, we were a same race relationship. We're good on the white kids. There's enough. The numbers are staggering. If you really need a white kid, just go grab one at Whole Foods. They're there. They're being actively ignored by their parents right now. They answer to Austin and Dakota. Really, anywhere you wouldn't want to visit. Brooklyn, Savannah, Pittsburgh. This is my daughter, Fort Wayne, Indiana. She's trash. And that's the real fear, right? I don't want to be one of those couples, you know? We name our kids Basil and Saffron. But we name our pet Kevin. So you know what a name sounds like. You just didn't want to waste it on your shitty kid. Is that? Oh, my dog Samantha. She's so sweet, we keep her in a stroller. Our son, Textile? We have to crate him at night. Bad boy. My buddy named his dog Vincenzo. Like an old school mobster. The dog has no idea what his name is. My buddy's like, Vincenzo, get off the couch. The dog's like, who the fuck are you talking to? He does that with his paw. I taught him that. They named my nephew Bronson, like an 80s action hero. And then they send him to a private school where they won't keep score during sports. So they give him this like macho tough guy name and then send him to a school where he gets bullied by the transgendered kids. Because my nephew's just regular gay. The trans kid's like, commit! I think we should wait to name our kids. Wait till they have a personality, name them accordingly. So your kid turns out to be a piece of trash, you name that one Tyler. So we know. Don't hang out with this kid, he sucks. On the other hand, your kid turns out super smart, early admittance into MIT, you name that one Rajesh. My kid wins spelling bees, you know? I don't really care about names, you know? They mispronounce my name all the time. It's Neil Rubenstein. They'll say Rubenstein or Rubenstein, Goldberg. I don't care. Because I'm named after my grandfather, Norman Rubenstein. But I know that wasn't his name, because he came over from Poland in the 1930s. So his name was just like a bunch of C's and Z's, you know? No vowels. Like an umlaut for no reason. And just the immigration guys at Ellis Island couldn't read it. They're like, what do you show me, a Wi-Fi password? Is that what this? I'm giving out a lot of Normans today, so you're gonna be Norman from now on. Norman Rubenstein. He's like, my last name's Jones. Like, not anymore, Jew! And they just shoved him back down the thing. That's how it was for us. Never been a good time in history for the Jews. No one's ever been like, oh, you're Jewish, right this way. Well, once, but. Did not go well. Jews came over, we had three choices. It could be a Stein, a Berg, or a Witz. If you didn't pick fast, you were Steinbergowitz. So like, now get out there and control the weather. And that's a funny thing about American culture too, right? Like, we'll name our kids ridiculous shit, you know? Like, how's that spelled, with a 7? Cool. But if you're from anywhere else and your name's difficult at all, we're like, pick something else. Like, I have this buddy, this Asian kid. He said his parents named him Jin Yun, which means flower blooming on the horizon. And we're like, wow, that's really pretty, Rick. On the other hand, I saw this American woman's ID once, because I can't stand outside anywhere without someone showing me an ID. Are we done? Are we done? So this American woman's ID, and her name was spelled D''N''E. I was like, Danae? Danny? She said it's pronounced D'Apostrophine. And we just let her be that. She's just at a gift shop somewhere, like, they never have my name on a name. Yeah, no shit. No shit, they don't have the apostrophe on a nameplate. There's rules. I was at the nail salon the other day. And everyone there was Susan. I was like, everyone feels unlikely. You guys just get the name tags in bulk? Just hand them out as they filed out of the shipping container? That's how they get here. Can't drive. No one can drive across an ocean. That's not... That is not a racist joke. It is a human trafficking joke. It's fine. Yeah. My ex and I, we broke up because she was too attractive. I did nothing wrong. She was too hot. That was the problem. No need to look inward. Just, she was too hot. That was the problem. To the point where, like, when we were out in public together, you had questions, you know? Well, concerns, mostly. You're like, blink twice if everything's... Like, when I saw other people where the guy was clearly out of his league, I was just like... Like, we drove the same truck. A Jeep Wave. But I understood. I understood my role, you know? Like, when my wife left me, I was just like, well, thank you for your time. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for everything. My ex-wife would get home at 5:30 every day. If it hit 5:31 and she wasn't home, I was like, well, she found someone new. Good for her, you know? Out there living her best life, you know? Then I check her closet for her favorite sweater. I'm like, well, she wouldn't leave without that, so. At least one more night. My buddy was always like, aren't you worried she's gonna cheat on you? And I was like, yeah, but she's earned it, so. Whatever. He's like, you wanna try and catch her? Nope. No, thank you. Like, I call on the way home every night, like, listen, babe, I'm gonna be home in 20 minutes. If you need more time, I can circle. That's not whatever. I knew it was over because we were talking about love languages. And I'm a touch guy, like rub my chest, my beard, I'm in, you know? And she's acts of service. I'm like, do you want me to join the army? She's like, yeah. I'm like, but I'll be gone for months at a time. She's like, I know, that's really hot. We met at a rock concert. And she was like a few people away. And I'm telling you, man, like, no hyperbole, one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. And I just remember seeing her and falling instantly in love and thinking to myself, please have one arm. You know, if I'm gonna stand a chance, she needs to be missing, at minimum, one arm. For a fat guy to date a hot? Listen, obviously not if she just lost an arm. I get that, right? Because then she still has two-arm confidence, you know? Tucking that empty sleeve in her pocket like we don't notice. We notice. Tied in a knot. Have some dignity. But for a fat person to date a hot person, she needs to be... Oh, and definitely not if she was born with one arm, right? I get that, right? Because then she has that can-do spirit, you know? She's out there rock climbing because they said she couldn't, you know? Just eating bananas. But I figure there's like a 3 to 9 year window, you know, where she's like at her most depressed. I'm a fun guy, I'll cheer her up, you know. Teach her how to use chopsticks with her less dominant hand. She had 2 arms. Lasted as long as it was gonna last. You know? And some people have a problem with that joke, and fuck them, honestly. Honestly. Because that's not me, that's you guys. That's society, right? Society's decided that if fat people want to date hot people, there has to be something wrong with the hot people. You guys do it all the time. You think I want to be looking for hot chicks with lazy eyes and little claw hands? That's not me, that's you guys. You don't like it, be the change in the world you want to see. Fuck some fat guys. I tried dating a little. I'm trying to date a little bit. I dated this polyamorous girl. And if you don't know what polyamorous is, it's when the girl gets to cheat on you and is honest about it. And everyone says you're being brave. It's like, oh, is that what this feeling is? Courage? Thank God, I thought it was chlamydia. I starting to worry. But I recently came out as pansexual, because bisexual sounds gay, and I don't know, like as you get older, I don't know how you find out what you're into, you know? Like, because when you're young, you would just bang in the backseat of a car while your friends were in the front seat of the car. Like, you didn't care. Like, you'd find out pretty good. Like, I found out I was into watching, you know? So. But like now, I don't even know if I could bang in the backseat of a... Like, I'd be too worried about the mess, you know? Like, this is a lease. They're gonna have questions about... If you must know, and I feel like we must know now, I'm a big fan of transgendered ladies. Like that's the kind of porn I watch, is transgendered women. And I have a lot of toxic friends because I grew up in the 1900s. Like, we had one black kid in our school, and we called him Black Brad. Yo, there wasn't another Brad. We just wanted to make sure he knew that we knew. So when I tell my friends that I'm into transgendered porn, they're like, dude, that's gay. And it's not, clearly, obviously. I don't need to dignify it. But I submit that heterosexual porn, pretty gay. Like, I'm watching 2 women explore their bodies. You're watching a dude fuck. Like, you're gonna see a dude's butthole. If I see a butthole, it's a lady's butthole. Right above her ball sack. as it gently slaps against another lady's ballsack. I don't know what's gay about that. Sounds delightful. I saw one recently. Her scrotum? Ballsack, scrotum? Yeah, okay, yeah. So her scrotum, it was like really long, and she was doing tricks. Anyone heard of the Birdbath? No? Yo. She would take one testicle, and then the other person took the other testicle. And it left like a little reservoir. I think that's French. And she would pour a little water in and then flick it like a little bird pen. How are you not blown the fuck away by this? That's the greatest thing that's why they invented the internet. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And you guys are just like, meh. 100% of you are gonna go home and Google Birdbath. Looking at me like I'm crazy. Yo, her balls, they would hit at different intervals when they were banging, like, so her hips and then her... Like a Lumineers song? Oh. Hey! Oh! Yeah. I say words for a living, and I have no words for this. I'm crying. I can't go back. What do I? What do I do an end? What am I going to do? Just say thank you? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Emo's Chris Graba, and this is my friend, Neil Rubenstein.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and foes, I am Frank Iero, and you are about to watch Neil Rubenstein, Nature's Carrot Top.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm doing my laundry. Hi, I'm Kaylee Goldsworthy. This is my friend Neil Rubenstein. Rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Rubenstein.
From crashing on my couch to your screen, here comes Neil Rubenstein. Ugh, I didn't mean to rhyme. And actually, he stays in the spare bedroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Rubenstein.
Hey guys, check out Neil Rubenstein's stand-up special.
What's up? This is Harold from Koyo, and you're literally watching Neil Rubenstein.
Hey, here's my friend Neil Rubenstein.
Hey, you ready for one of the funniest, caring, greatest people I know? This is Neil Rubenstein.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, your friend and mine, Neil Rubenstein, everybody!
Yeah, what up? Chris McCarthy from Internal Bleeding. Here's my boy Neil Rubenstein. He was my boss, and now he's a comedian.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Neil Rubenstein.
I'm Matt Pryor, and you are about to watch Neil Rubenstein.
This is Audley from Incendiary. This is Neil Rubenstein, Long Island Slam Metal Legends comedy special.
Neil Rubenstein is truly one of my favorite comics. I am genuinely very excited about this special. If I wasn't like super busy myself, I would be there, but like, you know, I have a life.